the two big valves are a little bit different to anything I've come across. They have a spring stem plunger in them, and the top tip here is when you inflate the boat, this spring stem must be right at its highest point, right up to the top rim of the valve. If it's depressed and locked in down, you'll never inflate the boat, as every time you release the pump, the air will just rush out. So if you're having trouble doing that, check that the valve stem is right to the top. I have to say, even with this little very cheap pump that was supplied with this kayak, it pumps up very easily and very quickly. I mean, I have cut some of this out of this video, but I had it inflated within minutes, so it's very quick to inflate. Another good tip with any inflatable boat, be it big or small, the first few times you use it, don't over inflate it. Obviously make it safe and proper for use, but don't go mad on the inflation. Let the material stretch, and I found that always best, and never overinflate any kayak or any inflatable boat. And do remember also, if you're in hot sun, that can heat the air up, and you might have to let a little bit of air out of the valves if it gets too hard in very, very hot sun. I'm now fitting the bag that the kayak fits in, and this fits on the front of the kayak and makes a little storage bag, which I think is quite clever. We're very lucky on this river. We have these wonderful canoe portage landing stages where you can launch kayaks and canoes, which makes life a lot easier. I'm about 5'11" tall and weigh about 11 stone, and as you can see, it was very easy for me to get in this kayak. I do suffer from a bad back these days, so I was surprised that you know, how easy I got in this, and it felt quite stable while I was doing this. I have been used to doing this in many sorts of kayaks, I know, and that is really half the battle, I think, probably. I was quite surprised at how well this Packlite inflatable kayak paddled. You can paddle it very straight, you can paddle it very quickly. In fact, on this calm, still water, it paddles very, very nicely for a small, very light inflatable kayak. I have to say, I was quite impressed with the performance that it, you know, gave me. There again, as you can see, I found getting out relatively easy again. Obviously on moving water and something that's inflatable that's also moving, it's never easy and it doesn't look particularly graceful, but I think anybody, even a beginner, could soon master getting in and out of this inflatable kayak very easily. As I say, for the size of it, it is very stable on the water. For me, the best thing about this kayak is it all fits in a small rucksack and the panniers of my bike. This location is about 3 miles from my home, and I came here on my Volt e-bike, and that to me is amazing, to be able to go and use a kayak from my bike, and I find that brilliant, and that's why I really like this kayak, and I would recommend it definitely to anyone for still water, rivers and lakes kayaking. I think it's an excellent prospect. So we come to the packing up, and I've speeded this little bit of video up because obviously packing an inflatable kayak can be a little bit boring, but it's interesting to see somebody do it, particularly if you're thinking about buying one of these, or you have one, or you've just bought one. And so I've included this in the end of the video, but I've just speeded this process up. And the kayak does, I have to say, pack up very quickly and easily. The grass was very, very wet on this morning. We'd had some rain, and obviously I got a lot of grass stuck on the kayak. So obviously then it's best to, when you get home, take it off and dry it out if you possibly can. Spread it out in the garden and let the kayak dry, and brush the grass or wipe the grass off. It's always a good idea to reverse the pump and suck the air out, which you can do with these pumps. You'll find the kayak will fold up a lot easier, and you'll be able to get it in the bag much easier if you extract all the air with the pump. so it's back off down the public bridleway and back home. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you may have enjoyed this little video of this test of this kayak, and please do comment, like and subscribe, and thank you to everyone that does, and I'll see you in a future video. Until then, bye for now.